Welcome back. In our last video, we talked about those must-haves, those essentials, those things you need before you even think about going RVing. But that leaves a lot of room for those things that are nice to have, that take camping or RVing to the very next level. And so today, we're going to talk about some of the items that I think are those items. They'll make your camping that much better. We're going to have some big items, we're going to have some expensive items, and we're gonna have some simple items, and we're gonna have some small items, and we're gonna have some cheap items. We're just gonna have lots of items. So we're gonna go over them, but I really wanna know what's important to you, so please comment that down below. We're also gonna be giving away a gas stop. I told you in the last video, this is essential. Totally believe it. And we're gonna give one away on this video thanks to Gas Stop, and I'd really love to get your feedback on it. And I'll tell you how to do that at the end of the video. I know there are so many things, from the chairs we set outside to our Blackstones, to our grill, to just about what our kettle or what our coffee pot is. It's hard to limit it down to a list of what you think is next level. But that's what I've done. We'll go over them. Not all of them are going to apply to everybody, but I think there'll be something that does apply to everybody. Let's go. Now, this first one is fairly simple, but it's something I struggled with from camper to camper, whether we're talking about my 18-foot Winnebago, our 24-foot Lance, or our 42-foot Brinkley that I'm in right now, and that is a quality stick vacuum. Now, we went through every cheap and moderate priced vacuum you could think of and just struggled and struggled, would end up not working and being thrown away. And finally, I just broke down and we bought a Dyson. And it has been world changing. Now, you don't have to spend the money of Dyson, and I'll tell you why, but a Dyson type vacuum will really make cleaning up your camper, getting everything nice, quicker and easier. And I highly recommend it. It'll make it the next level because the kids, the dogs, the neighbors, they're going to be bringing in dirt. There's dust and sand, especially if you're on a beach. It's going to get everywhere. Those vacuums will keep it nice and tight so you can keep the camper nice. Now, you don't want to spend all the money on the Dyson, but you want a vacuum just as good and just as great. Well, my good friend Patrick at Travels with Delaney just reviewed what I'm going to call the Dyson Killer, which I got a chance to see and have seen in operation and experience its battery life, and I think in many respects a little bit better than the Dyson. You can find it on Amazon. I'll drop a link to it down below, and I'll also drop a link to Patrick's video below reviewing that. Now, speaking of my friend Patrick, if you watch his videos at Travels Delaney, you might have seen we actually talked about lithium batteries last week in putting an RV. And I said in that video that I think one of the first things an RVer should do today is drop a lithium battery in their RV. I wouldn't have said that 5 or 10 years ago. And if you've been watching this channel, you know we've put a lot of money into lithium. We've tried them out. We've experimented with them. We've shown you how to change out your converter or reset your converter. But nowadays, it's just not that hard. It's so much easier. Lithium's batteries now cost reasonably. And most converters now automatically can detect them. The one in this Brinkley can, and switch over to the lithium. So it's really plug and play. Your lead acid battery may say it's 100 amp hours, but you can only use about 50 of it or you'll start degrading the battery, maybe even make it unrecoverable. A lot of times, because of the maintenance and care that you have to do to keep a lead acid battery working, people put their RV in storage and come back and find that it doesn't work anymore, that it's failed. Now, I used to recommend Battleborn because, 5+ years ago, Battleborn was the battery. It was reliable. It was assembled here in America. Really good customer service, still great customer service. And they had a good quality battery. It was expensive. But since that time, other battery manufacturers have come out and made even better featured batteries, just as good quality batteries, and a fraction of the cost of the Battleborn. So I just can't recommend the Battleborn in good faith anymore. And that's why I went with Epic. Some people call it Epoch, Epic. I'm not really sure which one's the right pronunciation, but that's why I went with it. It has great reviews. The build quality is amazing. Far more features than the Battleborn. I can check the status in my app. I have Victron communications, so the battery talks to my Victron through my servo and make sure that it's getting the best charge possible. It has heating, so it heats up if it gets too cold, so it can still accept a charge. And it has cold shut off, so it doesn't accidentally accept a charge if the battery gets too cold. It has all these great features. and it's a fraction of the cost of a battle born. So I really recommend going and looking at the different battery brands, and my recommendation is going to be Epic or Epoch, or I really don't care what you call it. It's just a good battery. Getting a lithium battery, I think, is even more important today as the refrigerators have gravitated away from having the option to run it on a 2-way or 3-way, that being the propane. So that 12 volt, or if you have a residential running off an inverter refrigerator, will really suck your battery dry. And that's why I recommend you definitely put a lithium in. It'll just make your camping so much better. It'll mean less maintenance. It'll mean less to worry about. It's just worth it. The next thing I think will bring your camping to the next level is an inverter. An inverter is what takes your battery power, which is direct current, and turns it into alternating current like you have in your sticks and bricks, so that you can run other appliances like your microwave and your air conditioners. And I really recommend getting an inverter nowadays. It'll allow you to charge your computers. It'll allow your kids to play their games. It'll allow you, if you don't have a 12 volt television, it'll allow you to run your televisions. It's just really makes all your outlets work, etc. It really makes it a lot easier to go and have the feels and comforts at home right inside your RV. The next one is something I actually haven't bought yet for this camper, and that's how I know it's a next level item, or the nice to have, because I haven't bought it yet. We just spent a month in Florida. We just pulled up further north and a cold spell has come down. It's been really, really, really cold. And I haven't bought this item yet since we upgraded our camper. And I've had it on all the past ones, and I regret it. And that item is a Mopica propane tank sensor. This is a sensor that literally goes in the bottom of your propane tanks. It kind of fits on with the magnet, and then it monitors how much propane is in your tank. And it will let you know if you're getting low, or you can check it on your phone at any time. It's really convenient. You can also get the model that has the little thing you put inside that you can kind of look at the little sensor, I guess, inside. I always just use my phone. If you followed this channel for any time, you know we do a lot of cold weather camping, and we are always checking our propane levels. The worst thing in the world is to come in, get ready to get into bed, to be all warm, out of your clothes, it's snowing outside, it's miserable, and then go, oh, I forgot to check the propane levels. And yeah, I have gas stops out there, and one of the great things about a gas stop is they have a little gauge on here, so I can look out there and see where my propane levels is, and I check it all the time right here on my gas stop. But once you're inside, I don't want to get up and go outside to do that. I'm too lazy. But on my phone, I can just check it and go, oh yeah, I got plenty of propane till tomorrow. I'll go to sleep, no problem. Or, oh yeah, I better go switch over the tank right now. So I definitely think a Mopica is worth having. The next item I have is probably going to be a little controversial. I have to have internet. I work while we travel, and also I like to have internet for other reasons. Now, what I have found to be a great internet option has been T-Mobile Home. And that's what I'm using right now. That's probably what this is uploaded with. I've been using it forever, but T-Mobile has kept threatening to cut that off where you can't use it while you're traveling in your RV. Now, just for the record, I bought mine while their terms of service said I could use it this way, so I am. Their new terms of service say you can't. And they're saying they're going to cut everybody off. But they've been saying that for about 1.5 years now. Haven't done it. But because of that, I can't recommend the T-Mobile to anyone right now. But what I can recommend is Starlink. And that's our backup system. And I will tell you, Starlink has come a long ways in the last 2 years. If you go watch some of our old videos, we did trips where we went all up the Northeast to Maine and other places and down south to try out the Starlink and see how it did in different areas. 2 years ago, it was kind of spotty in places. A little bit of tree cover would knock it out. It might not be very fast in one area, and it was great in others. Now, when we set that Starlink up, if I got any sky at all, it runs great. I just really think Starlink really is the best option for RVers for internet, but it's costly. It's an investment in the hardware, and it's an investment in the monthly charge, and that's why it's not an essential. It's not something that's going to be for everybody, but if you have it, it'll make your camping experience that much nicer. Now, for a simple thing, a very simple thing. Matter of fact, I'm going to go get something. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. See this? This is about as simple as you get. It is one shelf. I got a bunch of them from a fridge organizer. Just got it off Amazon. I'll put the link below. And the reason this is that next level makes it so much better is when I'm traveling, I used to have to sit there and play Tetris with our refrigerator, get it all in there, and then put the little pressure bars, the little bars you squeeze and put in, and to make everything stay, and then never would. Now I have these cubes that perfectly fit in the refrigerator of different shapes and sizes, and all of our items go in it, and I don't have to organize anything. I just shut the fridge and drive on. And because of these little containers, this is the soda can one, it just holds everything in place. It's clear, it's nice. It actually makes your fridge more organized. We've actually started using them in our sticks and bricks fridge. It's just really a great little doodad that helps make things go that much easier when you're traveling in RV. Now, some of the items I've always recommended, I like them to serve multiple functions. For example, the gas stop here, it serves a few functions. It stops major leaks. You know, if there is a major leak, it will cut off the propane. Can actually save your life. It has a gauge on here, so it can tell you if your propane's running low. And you can use it to check for slow leaks. And I attached a link to a video in the last video on how to do that. I'll do that again here. Multi-function item. That's really what you want when you're RVing. And another multi-function item is my waggle. Now, I've had this waggle. This is one of the older models. They have new ones for a very long time now. And I will tell you, I wouldn't RV without one. Now, you may be saying, I don't have a dog. I don't need a waggle. And I got to tell you, I'd get one of these even if I didn't have a dog because of the information it's sending you. It is letting you know your temperature of your RV, whether it's too cold, too hot. You may want to get an alarm if you forgot to winterize your camper and you don't have your heater on and you get an alarm that it's getting down to freezing. You may want to know that. The other thing it may tell you is it's too humid in your RV. I think nothing destroys RVs more, especially ones left in storage, than when they get too humid inside. You want to get a dehumidifier in there and get that moisture out. The other thing they do, they're a geolocator. If somebody starts to steal my RV, I don't only get an alert that it's moved, that I know where it's going, but I can follow and track it. As I said in a previous RV, I actually mailed one of these back to Waggle, left it on, and tracked it all the way to their warehouse from our house. That's pretty crazy. The other thing it does, it tells me if my power goes out. I get an alert if the power goes out even for a second. Also, when I was at Disney World, I had this coupled with the Waggle camera to watch my dogs. Last week, we were in the parks all day and I never worried. I could literally check the temperature, make sure the power was still on. I'd get a text if it wasn't, so I didn't have to worry about the dogs getting too hot in the camper. I knew they were fine. And then I would check the camera to see how they're doing. I could also hear them and I could tell them good boy every now and then, just make them feel comfortable. So we felt comfortable that we didn't have dogs going crazy and nuts in the camper, bothering the neighbors, because we could keep track of them between our Waggle camera and our Waggle. All right, the next item is something that we've only recently started using. Other RVers have been using them for a long time, and I've got to say, why did it take us this long? This doesn't do anything for you. It just helps you make your camper feel more like home, and that is mix tiles. These are photos. You literally can take your photos off your phone or off your camera, wherever you got photos, and you upload them to Mixtile and you tell them which ones you want and what frame or no frame you want on them, and they'll send them to you in with a little frame with a magnet on back. And the magnet sits on the wall, the Mixtile goes on there, and this is great because it holds it on there, but it's great for a couple other reasons. One, I can pull those pictures right off the wall. They're just magneted on there right before I close the slide for those pictures that are where the slides are. These magnets are strong enough that we've driven down the road. We went all the way to Orlando and back, and nothing fell off the wall where we left the pictures up. But I take them off where the slides are, because if they did fall off where the slide is, that could cause a real problem as the slide goes in and out. And it's so convenient just to pop them off, put them in a drawer. As soon as we get set up, put the slide back out, take them out of the drawer, put them right back into place. Another great feature about that is we actually ordered a lot of them, and we switch out the pictures. We only have, a couple dozen magnets that are put up with pictures in them, and we can kind of rotate the pictures, what kind of mood we're in, what season we can put the Christmas pictures up during Christmas time. We can put the summer pictures up during summertime and kind of keep the mood of the camper in what we're doing. And it's just a lot of fun to do that, and highly recommend Mixed Tiles. It's like they were made for RVs. Wait, this next one may seem a little odd, but for me, it brought RVing to the next level. And another RVer actually recommended this to me when they saw me up on my camper one time, cleaning off my slide toppers with a broom. And they said, you need one of these little leaf blowers. And he had a DeWalt leaf blower, and I got one. Now you can get one with other batteries if you're not a DeWalt person, but the little leaf blower, it's so compact. It's so easy. It fits right in. I can blow the sand away from our front door when we're at the beach. We can blow off our slides when we need to bring our slides in. We just use it all the time, and it's just been the most handiest thing. And it's small and it's compact, but extremely powerful. And so I definitely put on, not a have to have, but sure is nice to have, leaf blower. Now, another little simple thing that we've had is we've always had rugs in our RV. But I've always hated putting rugs where the slides are, because if you have a big thick rug, they're hard to roll up. Maybe you need to put some rubber padding on it to keep them sliding once the slides are out. But I found these great lightweight rugs that kind of have a rubber texture on the back of them already. And they roll up really easy, and they're great to put where your slides are going to be coming in and out. So you can take that rug up and put it back. Still have that nice, comfortable home feel that a rug can provide. And the rug serves double purposes. It's actually so flexible and easy that I'll wrap it around a piece of furniture, etc., that I want to make sure it doesn't rub anything while going down the road and get scratched, like our ottoman or our dog kennel. And this rug serves the purpose. You can get it in different patterns or colors. Maybe this color is not for you, but I highly recommend it, and I will put a link to it down below. So a travel-friendly rug is a real nice to have. Earlier, I mentioned the Waggle, and I mentioned the Waggle camera and how great that is for being able to watch the dogs. But we also use a dog kennel to make our dog feel like he has a little home, a little room of his own, and a safe place to go. The problem with the big plastic kennels, which we had been using, is sometimes they're hard to get in and out of the door, and they're just kind of a pain. And I wanted a kennel that wasn't fully put up and in the middle of our RV all the time. But if we needed it, the dog needed a safe place, I could take it out and keep it stored when not. And for that, I highly recommend an impact dog kennel. These kennels are really nice. They look really good, and they're super sturdy. Even an aggressive dog's not going to get out of them, and they give that dog a nice, comfortable place. Now, I bought a pad for the bottom of ours through a different company. I'll put the link below, because the pads that Impact sells were a little on the pricey side, as is their kennels. And so we found even a Primo pad to fit right in there. They make one for it that's really nice and about half the price of the Impact kennel pad. So if you're wanting to get the kennel, I definitely recommend you get it and get the kennel pad from Primo, not from Impact, to go in it, and you won't regret it. Now, what's great about this kennel is you can take it apart and it literally closes into a suitcase. I can fit it in my storage in the basement in the back, or the storage in the front, and it's out of the way. It's nothing but when I need it, I can bring it out, I put it together, and have a solid, nice kennel. If you have a Brinkley, let you tell you, if you have a Brinkley, it will fit next to your little dinette. I think that's what they call that thing that slides out, a dinette. It'll literally fit under the bar part of that perfectly fine. We had ours that way. Now, we've taken our dinette out, but we've left the bar out, and it fits perfectly under there. If you have the large or the intermediate, because they're the same height, it'll fit right underneath that table. Great spot for you to have it, and you know it fits. All right, for those that made it this far, I hope you've told me what you agree with, what you disagree with, everything down below. But now I want to talk about Gas Stop. You know I love Gas Stop. I talked about it in the last video, and Gas Stop is awesome. They haven't paid me anything. They haven't done anything, but they sent me a Gas Stop to give away. I already have Gas Stop. I paid for them with my own money, so I'm giving this one to you, thanks to Gas Stop. Now, it's important for you to know a couple things. This has nothing to do with YouTube. YouTube is not responsible for this giveaway. They haven't given me anything, etc. 2, there's no purchase of any kind necessary. I just want to give somebody a Gas Stop. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the rules below. You can read them all you want. I'm also going to post the rules on my Facebook site, Tree Talker the Traveler Facebook. So you can go there and look at the rules as well, because it's required. So look at the rules. And what we're going to do is, after this video starts, look at the time. That's the time the contest starts. As soon as this video uploads, then I want you to, if you want this Gas Stop, to let me know down below. Say, I want this gas stop in the comment, or anything. Just put the word gas stop in your comment and I'll know what you mean. Then what I will do is the following Sunday at 5 p.m., all right, Eastern time, I will end the contest and I will use a random selector to pick a comment randomly out of the video where you've put the word gas stop. Now, how will you know you won? Yeah. So the following week, I'll put out another video and I'm gonna tell who the winner is in that video. And all I'll need you to do, and I'll give you instructions on how to contact me and authenticate it. I will need to authenticate you and how I can send this to you. Now, it's one RV gas stop provided by Gas Stop. These things are awesome. They're wonderful. But if you didn't win, or you don't want to put your name down there or have one sent to you, but you want a gas stop, I put the links down below. Definitely recommend it. I know a lot of people bought them after my last video, and I think that you will be happy. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let people know if you're happy or not. I definitely want to hear it. Love Gas Stop.